Hello, my name is Alyssa Mose, and today I am using ScreenPal to present to you on our second assignment, which is focused on blogs, social media posts, and technology tools within them. So today I will be showcasing what I learned while I was researching on all the different blogs, and then I'm going to connect these different tools that I saw on these blogs to ISTE standards for students, ISTE standards for teachers, and then Visual Arts Nebraska standards for every single class. And then I will also be sharing how I intend to use these different tools in the classroom, and I'm thinking that we should just get right into it. Alright, so my first blogger is Holly Clark, and she is the Infused Classroom blog, and this post is called Pairing Thinking Routines with Technology. And so she actually had two resources on here, Jamboard, which is no longer in existence, but the idea of it was that they can have an area online where they can write down their thoughts for their project, and then they can take their project idea and put it onto Flipgrid and film a video where students can then comment and share responses on other different videos. And so this is a great place for public speaking practice, and I just really want them to be able to also do the creation process where they have to do some deep thinking and they can't just jump right into the assignment. So that's what I would use that for. I would probably do 30-second videos and 30 seconds to a minute videos for middle schoolers. That is the grade level that I would think. And so then we have our student standards, and I chose the Creative Communicator 1.6, and then I chose to fit that. The indicator is students will choose the appropriate platforms and digital tools for meeting and desired objectives of their creation or communication. So that, and then we have the Nebraska standard, and it is FA 8 2.1. And so students will use the creative process to investigate and communicate personal voice in artwork. So this is what we're looking at. Okay. So that is what I learned from Miss Holly. Next, we have collaborative learning with Listium, and this is from Richard Byrne, and he does free tech for teachers. And so Listium is kind of an idea where students can list rather than doing it on paper. They can have a physical copy of different ideas and thought processes that they can document, and they don't have to worry about losing it. And I love this part because I feel like students always struggle with losing different things that they did on paper. I think it would be nice to do it on paper too, but I do think that they should be able to get an idea of using different digital tech forms. And so it's just an idea where people can focus their ideas and organize thoughts. And so I would do this for a middle school. And for this, I chose Innovative Designer. And I also chose the design process 1.4. Students know and use a deliberate design process for generating ideas, testing theories, creating innovative artifacts, or solving authentic problems. So they can use this online resource to do all of that, and they can think about it while they're doing it. And then our Nebraska standard for middle schoolers is the same. This first one, students will use the creative process to investigate and communicate personal voice in artwork. All right. And then for our next one, we have Control Alt Achieve with Eric Curtis, and his blogs are through like different links of the week he has. And so the one that I don't know what I should click. Sorry. His is through December of last year, but it's still very beneficial in my opinion. Okay. Now I have to pause for a second. Okay. I thought it would be better if I didn't have to show you me scrolling all the way down to find the resource again. But this is called Art Eater Animation Creator, and as you can tell from watching this video, students can develop a different design and then they can do different angles and different parts of the design doing different things, and then we put it into this animation creator and voila, then you have a design, an animation that is moving and it's sort of like a GIF. So it's kind of like the idea of like a flip book. And in this, you have to, there's going to be a lot of creative thinking and creative problem solving that's going to go into this because, well, I mean, if you've done a flip book, you would know that it's pretty difficult because you have to make sure that it looks believable moving into the next motion or emotion. It's kind of a difficult one. But I believe that this is a great introduction for upper elementary into the world of digital art and animation art. So let me find this. Okay, so I chose the Innovative Designer for the ISTE Student Standard. And then I chose Prototypes, which I think is the perfect one for this lesson. Students will develop, test, and refine prototypes as a part of a cyclical design process. I believe that one explains it for itself. There's probably going to be a lot of testing out their design and making sure that it looks believable. And then we have 5.2b, use observation, imagination, and interpretation in creating artworks and reflect a variety of styles, themes, and subjects. So they will be using digital art, and they will be also using their imagination and interpretation and observation skills of showing that they know how an object moves and transforms into different things. So next we have Matt Miller, and his is Ditch That Textbook. And so I chose Gemini, and Gemini for Google Slides, and this is more of a teacher helping tool that I'm going to be using. And for the way that I would use it is I would write down all of my notes on like a Google Doc, separate thing, and have them organized for each slide that I want to create. And then Gemini would take those notes and it would slap it onto a presentation, and then I would be able to have a beautiful design that's clear, concise, but it's also still all of my works, still all of my designs. And then the nice thing about it is that it's editable, so I can change it and I can move things however I need to. And so it would just also help me create an engaging lesson plan. I know students have sometimes hard times following presentations, so if Gemini can help me create something that's going to be enticing and fun, energetic, then I'm definitely going to be using that as a resource. For my teacher standard, I chose Leader 2.2, and then I chose Model Digital Tool Use. So I feel like this is a safe way for me to show how AI can be a nice tool and how to use it in a way that does not abuse it. And I'm running with that idea. It can get out of hand, but not in this situation. Okay, and then next I will be doing Learning in Hand with Tony Vincent, and this post is called Push Your Thinking with AI. So this is kind of a strategy that Tony Vincent has created himself, and he created a poster. These are kind of the ideas like refine, reframe, re-examine, and here is his poster. So students could use this method using AI to dig deeper in their projects. So I think I wrote on my other part of the assignment, like the student could put in, I want to have a 3-color scheme with a pattern. And so then AI, they can ask too later, like what's missing that can make it stronger. And AI might respond with a couple different ideas, such as using a complementary color scheme. That way your subject could pop out. And so that way it would give a different idea, and then they can talk further about the patterns. It's just a great process that I think that can help students with the creative process. And this way they're not really telling AI like, hey, give me this answer straight up. They're actually going to take that back, wind it, and slowly get questioned by AI and being walked through that process. So for the student standard, I chose Innovative Designer, and then I chose to have design constraints. So this is students select and use digital tools to plan and manage a design process that considers design constraints and calculated risk. So I believe that this is showing the creative process where they have to sit back and think about it. And I believe that that truly fits what I'm trying to express about this. And then, oh, I also want to mention that this is for like middle school, high school, but for time purposes, I picked a high school standard because I can see my students mostly using it there. So this is analyze multiple ideas and materials to demonstrate and planning and refining. So it's up here, this one. I believe that fits well. And then we have Jennifer Gonzalez, and her post is about WeVideo. So this is where I could use this as a teacher tool where I can film videos for substitutes that I can leave behind, and then I can post about them later. I know that it's super helpful to have a student guide, and especially for the substitutes, so that they know what they're doing. And so for this one, I chose Citizen, and this is create a positive experience. Sometimes students feel a little nervous when their teacher isn't there, and sometimes it can just set a student off. And this has also helped a substitute so that they know and can plan for that. So Sarah Crowther is the RD teacher. This is a blog I found just on Google, and she can be very beneficial to me as she's been a teacher for 20 years, and I chose to look at digital art and how it can come together like that. Let me get to it. Sorry. Digital art. Here we go. So this is really cool because she shows how she can take different resources and find ones that are cheaper, which is very nice. Okay. Sorry, that took so long to find. I was hoping to show you the About Me and then show you this. So she has Adobe Fresco and Photopea. So she believes that it's inclusive because they're both cheaper options because they're free, and which is awesome. And this is an introduction to digital design, which is great. So this is my presentation, and I thank you for watching.